Alright, so what is going on, everyone? I am doing a little tutorial video on the art of jabbing. Now, if you don't understand why we're making a video on jabs, it's because I see a lot of you guys just simply go for and then we end our turn, or we go and then we try to run up and do something fake or whatever have you. But if we understand jabs effectively, then we can essentially make our game plan a lot stronger. And even when it comes to situations in the corner, it makes them a lot stronger because it can initiate the throw loop for you. Okay, so let's get into it. So the first things first is that we want to put them on block. Now, you might be asking yourself, oh, you know what? If they're on block and this is -2, that means your opponent technically should be able to press, right? The reason why they cannot press is because this is the only button that's like this in the game. Well, stand jabs and crouch jabs, right? Well, mostly crouch jabs. Some stand jabs have the ability to do so, right? Like Chun. So the reason why this works is because they, for a lack of better word, gatling into each other. Okay? So because of that, essentially no other button gets to go into itself that smoothly aside from that button, right? So because of that option, we're allowed to press it multiple times. As a result, it kind of negates the situation at hand. So how do we use this to our advantage? A lot of the time when you're fighting an opponent, they're not going to be trying to jab out of it. Unless you're in gold or platinum, then this is enough. Okay, this is enough, and then putting them in the corner, that's enough. Okay, if you're slightly higher than that, the option they will be going for is not going to be crouch jab. They're more than likely going to be looking for throw. The reason why they'll be looking for throw is because they're trying to avoid a situation like this, right? Absolutely no one wants to be put into this situation here. So naturally, in order to get out the situation, what they'll start to do is they'll start to tech. Right? So what happens is that what you can start doing, oh my goodness, what you can start doing is throwing out jabs, right? So the jabs essentially check them for trying to go for this. Okay, now that becomes the strike, the lowest form of the strike throw game. Obviously there's more aspects to it, but I'm only going to talk about jabs. So what we can start to do is throw out jabs and then hit confirm into stand jab, either into, like, depending on your character. If you're a character like a standard Shoto, you might want to do like crouch jab, stand jab into DP, like that. Or if you're a character like Cammy, you might want to go for something like this, right? Push them towards the corner and get it started like that, depending on the options you have available to you. Granted, you also want to keep in mind how much gauge you have. Depending on how much gauge you have, you want to change the route that you have, okay? If you don't have access to 3 bars, I don't want you using the extra meter to get the conversion. Okay, otherwise you can just go for this, dash, go for throw, and run your offense that way. Aside from the outside of that, you can, I don't know, depending on your character, naturally, depending on your character, your inputs change. But regardless, you want to make sure that you're pressing jab to bait out what your opponent wants to do. So if you clicked on this video, I'm sure you need some help. Lord knows I did at some point. But here's the thing, you want your favorite content creators to come and help you. But let's be real, they're charging like $60 per hour. You don't need that. But when I got you good. Over on this channel, I do free coaching sessions on Tuesdays and on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. EST. So what does that look like? I essentially go over your matches. I give you tools so that you can succeed the next time you open up rank. So once again, join my Discord. Wait till I'm live either on Tuesdays or on Thursdays, 6:30 p.m. EST. Be there or be square. And yeah, I'm not your favorite pro, but I'm available. Those pros are not available. So once again, join the live, get better, and I'll help you improve. Back to the video. So once you start doing this a little bit more often, what your opponents will start doing is starting to block out the situation. Now, if they start trying to block out the situation, granted, you can try to do something like this, but a lot of the time they're going to be kind of ready to press afterwards, and we don't really want to put ourselves in a situation where they press crouch and medium kick before us, and as a result we end up getting hit for it. With that being said, what we can do is, now that we understand that they're going to block out the situation, now we can revert back to this, right? So between structures, I want you switching in between options pretty frequently. If you notice that your opponent is not showing you the fact that they will tech this situation, keep going for it. Keep doing it. It's only until they show you that they have answers is when you want to try and switch up the situation. Now, what you can also do is that some of your opponents are going to try and delay tech. So what does that mean? It means they'll press the throw button relatively late. That way, if you hit them immediately on wake up, they'll still block. And if they decide to try and throw you, they'll get the last few frame window to actually cancel out your throw at the last possible moment, like so, right? So that's why delay tech is effective. However, what you can start doing is you can start walking out of the situation. I know this is a little bit more advanced, but this is more so for my platinum and diamond people, okay? So what you can start doing is walking out of the range, because now they're thinking that you're gonna get this, now they're thinking they're gonna get jabbed. So in those situations, they're committing to a delayed tech where if you do jabs, they're more than likely gonna be able to block it, but we can still bait them out. And then by doing so, we get a substantial hit, and then we can run them towards the corner by doing so. That's why this sort of style is very important. Now granted, some characters have better walk speeds than others. Granted, Cammy does have a good walk speed to try and show this and display this, but some characters have worse walk speeds, so you might have to change up your way of showing this option a little bit differently, right? With that being said, I hope this helps you understand throws a little bit better, as well as what to do when you have this option available to you. One last thing I'm going to include is that especially when you have them in the corner, you want to keep running the offense, and if you want to try and change up the throw loop that you're trying to do against them, you can start doing that as well. So what will happen is that if your opponent tries to just wake up throw, right, because they're getting throw looped, right, they don't want to get throw looped anymore, so they're gonna try and throw. So what you can do is start pressing jab into throw, right? Granted, if you can confirm it, then do so, but if not, you can also go jab into throw. And then once you throw them enough, like I mentioned before, we bait it out and we hit them for it. Anywho, I hope this helps you learn a little bit more about the jab situation, how to manage it, and how to get better at it. With that being said, if you want any other coaching sessions, I do have them available in this playlist over here. And I appreciate you guys for watching, and sub, you know what I mean? It goes a long way to help the channel. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.